In recent times, immigrants and immigration policies have been a hot topic not only in the news, but also in the community that you live in. I bet that you know someone within your community who knows or has been affected by the mostly negative rhetoric that has been used to portray immigrants in recent times. Is this rhetoric saving the US? Or is it fueling the hate and racism that lay dormant underneath the facade of democracy? So in my quest to learn more about immigration and immigration policies led me to Mr. John Burgess, an immigration lawyer who's been practicing immigration law for 20 years and has helped over 1,000 immigrants find a home away from home. And here are some of our conversations that happened that day. Hi there. Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is John Alexander Burgess. I'm an immigration lawyer. As it happens, this is the 53rd anniversary of my swearing in to the Hawaii Bar, where I'm still a member. And so I've been doing that the last 25 years.
What made you an immigration lawyer? Your passion? Circumstances? Or did it just happen?
So I came to San Francisco and found that with my Hawaii license, I could be an immigration lawyer. So that's what I've largely done the last 20 years, specializing in asylum cases from more than 20 different countries in the world. People fleeing persecution because of their political beliefs or race or religion or sexuality or honesty in corrupt cases. So,
how many cases do you think that you have represented so far? And is there anyone that stands out?
I calculated at one time, I thought it was about 8,000. Well, in immigration, I would say the Golden Venture. Well, they were aboard this vessel. They were brought in by snakeheads. In fact, there's a book that's been published called Snakeheads. These New York snakeheads have made arrangements for this boat, the Golden Venture, to come off of Queens in New York. But the boat waited and waited to contact the snakehead that had made the arrangements, not knowing that he'd been killed. He'd had some disagreement and somebody had slit his throat. And eventually the boat went aground. That alerted all the authorities. And so there were about 279 total Chinese passengers coming in seeking to come aground and go aground, off New York, illegally enter the country. And some of them jumped overboard, a few drowned, and they rounded up some, others escaped entirely. And then they captured these 18 women and the 7 guys out of that group and moved them to Bakersfield in a preliminary effort to stage them to repatriated back to China. And at that point, I was at the Immigrant Legal Resource Center. They said we need to do an injunction in the federal court for the Eastern District of California to stop the government from doing that. So I did that emergency injunction that was successful. So they were there for almost 4 years, 34 months as I recall, being held while we litigated it in court, their assertion that they were fleeing forced abortion and that was a ground to be granted asylum for the first time in the United States. And so it became a case of considerable celebrity. Now it's unlimited. Anyone suffering forced abortion anywhere in the world is entitled to asylum, so it made new law and a new ground for relief.
Since the incident, what are the changes that you have seen in the immigration policy? Have there been any positive or negative reforms?
Well, right now we've got this president who stated that asylum is not even valid. 14, 15-year-old girls fleeing gang violence and rape and even murder and torture. And he's talking now about requiring people to pay a fee, which is just unbelievable. I don't think any country requires people to pay a fee to apply for asylum. And now they're just referring most cases to the immigration court. The whole asylum process is really under tremendous stress. The question now is what's going to happen.
After talking with Mr. John Burgess, one thing is clear, that reforms in immigration policies have been a major hindrance for immigrants seeking asylum in the US. After a great conversation with Mr. Burgess, I definitely have a deeper understanding regarding immigrants and immigration policies than before. And there is definitely no denying that recent policies have affected immigrants not only in the US but all over the world.